Hello everyone, I'm Kunda. It has been a little while since I've made a video, but here we go. I've been planning to make this one for a good little while. I'm thinking I'll call this series, yes, this is going to be the first in a series, and I'm thinking I'm going to call it Cleaning Out My Meme Folder. Kinda in honor of Eminem, I guess. He just put out a new song. It's kind of a banger. But anyway, let's just get right into it. I have a meme folder. It is over full right now. And today we are going to go through my debunked meme folder and my dystopia meme folder. So we will start with this one. So back when the world had gone to shit, not that it is much less shit now, but back when things were real crazy, people were talking about the Omicron variant and basically saying that it had been predicted by a whole bunch of media. Now, this person seems to possibly have been the source of a lot of that. She had photoshopped the phrase the Omicron variant onto a whole bunch of 70s sci-fi movie posters and books and that kind of thing. I don't think I need to keep this one, but kind of funny. Next. This is a graphic that I see go around in Canada fairly often. It's, well, usually it doesn't have all the fact checks on it. I'm going to keep this one, but yeah, it's worth looking through. Pause it if you want to. And that is all we have for the debunked folder. I should really go about debunking more things more often. Klaus Schwab. This one I'm keeping because unfortunately this seems fairly accurate to the WEF and government indifference in general. Also one that is staying because it feels way too real. A picture of Dan Dix, David Icke, Alex Jones, Luke Rudowski, four other people that I imagine are in the conspiracy alt news space. No real reason to keep this one, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Dress for the dystopia you want, not the dystopia you're in. I totally agree with the vibe of this one. This is a keeper. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but empowering the government to inject people against their will is far more dangerous than the measles. Not in reference to the measles, but it's a sentiment that I want to hang on to, so it's staying. Now, this graphic goes around in all kinds of different contexts. I like it. It represents things pretty well, and even if liberation means that somebody might catch a stray baseball to the gut once in a while, like I did when I was like 4 hanging out on the playground, we're gonna keep it. Journalism is printing what someone else does not want printed. Everything else is public relations. I don't know if George Orwell ever said this, but accurate, it's staying. I'm not sure if this is better off in the COVID specific folder. Yes, I have a COVID specific folder. I should probably move it, but I don't know if I can really do that all that easily. Maybe I can, I guess. I guess we probably could, but that's not going to be super fast. Not expedient for the video. We'll keep it, but it's going to be... I'll move it after I'm done recording. Dystopia? Yeah, this reflects our dystopia. I'm going to keep it. Shelter in place. A lot of these are... Well, I guess this one isn't so much specific to the situation we were in over the last few years that we've been out of for, I guess, a year or so now, but true, gonna keep it. Also true, gonna keep it, but also kinda falls into the move it into that other folder. Yeah, not a nice meme, but I'm not deleting very many of these memes. I'm doing a bad job here. Eh, yeah, it's gonna stay. It's not exactly true for me, but at the same time, it's a tiny bit true for me. I definitely, I got respect for people who got their own self-sufficiency skills, and if government gets much worse, we are going to need to be as self-sufficient as we possibly can. Another one that could be moved if I thought it was worth moving, but it's not, so let's just get rid of it. Yep, that is a keeper, though I almost wonder if I should have a social media specific folder. I really need to decide whether I gotta do a whole lap at the end of this just to shove a bunch of these into the past pandemic folder. I don't know if YouTube still has some kind of filter for that or what. The elite watching us start a civil war instead of a revolution. That is our dystopia. It's staying. This is just a good general attitude to have. I didn't know I had a copy of this one with nothing on it. I don't know if I really want to keep that or not. It's borderline, but let's go through it. A Destiny meme. Yeah, it's, yeah. Fair. Miss when the internet was an ungovernable Wild West frontier land of batshit insanity rather than just four websites that perpetually make concerted efforts to ruin your life if you do the wrong thing but act like it's righteous and not just egregious cruelty. Fair to keep. And a meme that almost perfectly depicts the previous meme. Scary. Fits the dystopia vibe. Also kind of fits one of the previous memes. This is dystopia. It's going to be kept. This is going to be moved, I guess. I need to generalize my dystopia folder. That's what I'm getting from this whole process. Is this dystopia? I just want to keep this one for another 4 years. See how accurate it is. Fair. Keeping this one. It could fit in the reactions, but dystopia is a little strong of a phrase for this, but also not very wrong. Maybe not totally wrong. This feels like one of those Sinclair montage compilation things where you got an entire window full of news anchors, like just a Brady Bunch on steroids, all saying the same thing. I guess we keep it. Zuby music memes. I have a good few of these. I think I have a conspiracy specific folder that this one might fit in better. I can probably move that one quick enough if I can find it quick enough. Yeah. This one is going in the conspiracies. This is basically just the previous one, but better. Maybe we get rid of the last one and keep this one. Despite my appearance, I am consistently worried we live in a dying world being eaten away by the rich, yet people seem to not want to fight for their survival against them. 10 years from now, you'll be From 10 years from now, you'll put on a jacket and find a mask in the pocket. Oh man, what a weird year. I feel like this fits into the same vibe as the Joe Rogan 2028. Just let's see how accurate it is in 10 years. Real quick, real quick. You probably won't be able to see, but I can see. When did I originally save this meme? April 2nd, 2021. We got 7 years left to see how accurate this one is. Yep, yep. Unfortunately true. I feel like the social media folder could fit in the dystopia folder. I might end up making that. That could fit in government memes, but I'm gonna leave it where it is. This one's a good meme. This one's a good meme. This one is a good meme, kind of applicable to the lockdowns, but also not necessarily applicable to the lockdowns, so we're keeping it. This one, do we move it to a historic lockdown folder? Create that one, or do we just leave it? Because it kind of reflects. I don't know about the countries that y'all live in, but here in what they call Canada, there is a shortage that's pretty much at crisis levels of a lack of healthcare workers, lack of doctors. So many people are lacking family doctors. This one is true. It, yeah, not that I track my macros and calories or lift all that much or eat Big Macs, but like the attitude is real. Let's keep it. This one is in the wrong folder and it's old. I probably went to that. I think I have a video on my channel from it. You can check it out. I'm pretty sure that it's there. I'm wondering if that was the Chris Sky day or not. What a mess that whole situation is. I can't wait for everything to go back to normal. The aliens are coming next, and they kind of did. I mean, we don't know what they look like. They haven't showed up, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure the US government declassified them in the middle of all the lockdowns, and everybody was just too done with all the shit to care. So, I guess this is too dated. I'll get rid of it, but funny. Keeping that, it was in reference to the virus, but it doesn't need to be. The Georgia Guidestones. That's being kept. It could fit in the conspiracy memes, but it doesn't need to. Keeping that one, I guess. The watch list, which included 1.9 million records, was left exposed online for 3 weeks. I don't remember this. I don't remember exactly which situation it's talk about, and for all I know, my name was or wasn't on the list. Like I said, I don't remember. I'm not even sure I really care, but I guess we keep it. You know what? I changed my mind. It's not general enough to use, but this one certainly is. I could make this a banner to all the sites that I use. This one is just funny, absurd, social media policing kind of. Can someone have too many jars of preserves and water stored and toilet paper? I mean, cycle your water. You don't want to just get a whole bunch, store it, and let it stagnate forever. Like, cycle it, but can a person be too prepared? I don't really think so. If you just got finessed into calling the medicine that won the... So, an ivermectin meme. I I don't really care enough to keep this one. I don't know if I care enough to keep this one until 2051, but I totally get why people feel like this is the reality that we're going to be stuck living in 30 some odd years. We'll keep it. Think while it's still legal, keeping that one. Klaus Schwab, just out having a time. I'm not shaming them for this one at all. People free to do what they want to do, dress how they want to dress, go to whichever beaches they want to go to, because, like, I think we should have more free beaches. But, kinda, I don't know if it's worth keeping, because I think Klaus Schwab, if he hasn't stepped down from his position in the WEF, he has announced that he intends to, but I just want this one off my screen. I'll keep it for future reference, but we have to be more honest about what 9/11 was and what it wasn't. It was an attack on the heteropatriarchal capitalistic systems that America relies upon to wrangle other countries into passivity. It was an attack on the systems too many white Americans fight to protect. That's gross. But some people think that way, so I'm gonna keep it. Might move this one, but I'm keeping it. Sorry if you see repeats when I get around to doing the meme vid, but that's going to be a long time because I think I'm going to go in alphabetical order starting with D. Anyway, how many people felt this way 2-3 years ago? Another Zuby meme. Do you know the darkest realization I've had over the past year? It's not about the governmental overreach. It's not about the bastardization of science. It's the realization that a significant percent of my fellow citizens would turn on me if instructed to by an authority. What was the Milgram, I think, experiments? The ones that proved most people would shock a person to death or really, really near close to it if instructed by the person that it was an authority in the experiment. This one's too true, it's getting kept. Bill Gates. This one is a joke, but it's a funny joke, but not one worth keeping. This is another version of the... Well, it was literally Rage Against the Machine in one of the panels earlier, but yeah, I might get rid of one or the other. I might not. I might keep them both. This one should probably be moved, but we'll keep it. Another one. Another Zuby. I feel like the past 20 months have largely consisted of people trying to convince me to be as afraid as they are and getting mad at me when I refuse to be. Just for curiosity, I wanted to see when I saved it. Halloween 2021. It's real dated though. But I'll put it in the other folder. A meme about the Great Reset. Do you want to see things resetted? And do you want to see them resetted in a way that might turn out a way that you don't want? I'll keep it. Yeah, keeping it. Reading through Fauci's experiments, and the one I find most alarming is the use of an acid to destroy a region of monkeys' brains to magnify terror. They then stipulated images of spiders and tormented them with fear. Why fund that research? this reminds me of something separate that I watched today that alleged. Also, this is from Candace Owens. Apparently, I don't get the meme, and I don't want to shift things around to Google it right now, but I saw something that was saying that Fauci more or less just pulled out of his rear the idea of the masking kids and the social distancing, which the social distancing, if we're in like an actual pandemic, probably a good thing. But yeah, moving on. Moving on. This video is going to piss off YouTube enough anyway. I don't need to add to it. Keeping this one, I guess. Being considered crazy by those who are still victims of cultural conditioning is a compliment, but you're not crazy. You're awake in an insane society. It is no measure of health to be very well adjusted to a very sick society. We're keeping this one. What is this one? Probably not worth keeping, but probably worth documenting in this video. Don't forget to put your clocks back tonight to 1940. If people are being commanded to carry around papers to go to the grocery store, this one will be relevant again. I'm keeping it. If you're going to trust billionaires and bankers who have created the environmental crisis to design a brand new economic system because you think they care about the environment, you might as well hand them your brain in a bag. This might go in the environmental meme folder, but who knows? We'll keep this one. It's self-explanatory. This could go in the anarchy meme folder, but I think it fits just as well in the dystopia. We'll keep this. Meta World Economic Forum. I've got another one that looks much like this one, but might be better. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We'll keep that one. We'll keep this one because you look at all the things that were called conspiracies back in the 50s to 90s. MK Ultra comes to mind. Yeah, this one's a keeper. This is a mover. This is basically exactly what the first thing we talked about in this video was. I think I'm going to get rid of it, but yeah, that is an example of what Lady on Twitter was talking about. Me and the homies about to intercept the food delivery to your grocery store after you ban us from entering. I feel like I need a subfolder for some of these, but we'll hang on to that. We'll keep this one, the classic frog in a pot meme. I feel like a lot of people don't understand really what memes are. Pretty much everything is a meme. Richard Dawkins was, as far as I know, the one who originally coined the term, and it basically just means an idea that spreads from mind to mind. It's something that is good enough or seems good enough to a person that they want to share it with people. And the idea, the fact, I think, I've never boiled a frog. I don't like animal cruelty, but the idea that a frog will stay in water if you gradually increase the temperature until boiling and it dies, yeah, we'll hang on to this one. Alex Nostradamus Jones, basically saying Alex Jones predicts everything. I don't love Alex Jones. I think he gets more hate than he deserves to, unless you're one of the people that, unless you've been directly affected by something that he's got wrong. In that case, hate on him all you want. I free speech. You deserve to hate on him at that point, but like people dismiss everything he says out of hand, and I wonder if that's wise. But we'll hang on to this one, I guess. Daddy, what did you do when the state took all our freedoms and rights away? I called everyone who questioned it a conspiracy theorist and clapped like a monkey. There. I feel like by the end of, all the lockdowns and everything, not as many people were like this as at the start, but we'll keep this one for historical reasons, even if I gotta go back through and resort a lot of these. They don't know they're looking at a winter of severe illness and death. This was... what year was this? Either way, I'm going to get rid of it because I don't think we really saw all that much. That was 2021, and yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't the Black Death. This is a convoy meme. We will move that one too, but it's not getting deleted. We'll keep this one for the vibe. I'm not a fan of Robert W. Malone. If I remember right, he had claimed that he was one of the people who worked on gain of function and all that kind of stuff for... what was it? Not gain of function. Sorry. Correct myself here. The newfangled vaccine technology. I should remember this. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's not RFID. RNA. RNA vaccines. I think he was trying to say that he was the guy who came up with the technology. I think it was more that he worked on it. He might have been part of a team, but for the right-hand side of the panel, well, we'll hang on to it. It might end up deleted, but not yet. We'll delete this one, but it's kind of funny. It is kind of funny. So when are we going to talk about how the shutdowns and mandates you supported for years only made the rich richer and the poor poorer? That's the neat part. Leftists won't. Kind of true. Kind of don't know if it's worth keeping, but yeah, whatever. Do you have the king's permission to be outside, filthy filthy peasant? We'll keep this one. Hopefully it never becomes relevant again, but hopefully none of the Dystopia memes become relevant. This is one folder that I really hope I am wrong on, except maybe this one. I wouldn't hate if this one ends up becoming true. The media's brainwashing. That's not true, says the mainstream media. Hang on to that one. This meme makes democracy look really bad. Not so much a fan, but I understand the time that it came out of, and again, hopefully it's never relevant, but yeah. This one's just funny, and kind of accurate to the way some people think, especially Joe Rogan haters. We are in 2024, and I'm still talking, so this one is dated enough that get rid of it, but we all survived. Hell yeah. This one's dated, but we're also going to keep it. Eminem character is redesigned for a more dynamic, progressive world. This is just illustrating the double standard of giant corporate, what do we want to call it, just mass marketing, image maintenance versus the reality of what it takes for corporations that large to stay in business and be profitable, we're going to keep it. And the whole... No, I don't really like talking about this during Pride Month, but we're going to talk about this, I guess, during Pride Month. The whole gender as cats and helicopters and whatever, I feel like it is overemphasized, exaggerated. I've heard stories which make me think that, like, this does happen very occasionally. I don't know if... In the most extreme of stories about this, you hear people say that the feline gender people get their own litter box in the bathroom or even in the classroom. I am highly skeptical of how true that is. I guess we'll delete this one, but not because it never happens, just because it is kind of portrayed like it happens all the time in current year. But yeah. In year 2000, Microsoft couldn't even bundle a web browser and Windows without getting antitrust lawsuits. Now companies that own the internet can kill a competitor with impunity. Amazon Web Services versus Parler. I didn't use Parler, but I kind of want to check to see if they still exist. We do not live in the same times, and it is unfortunate. I just Googled it. Apparently, it does still exist, or maybe more accurately, it does exist again. So, I don't know if it's worth using. Maybe I'll look up some reviews. Anyway, back to the memes. This one basically just saying that the way to avoid all the things that we've been talking about in the previous half hour is to cut yourself off, get a good group of friends and families together, and become as self-sufficient as possible. I don't know how realistic it is. I might actually use this. I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to it though. I said earlier in the meme with the guy just hooked up to his laptop on a mattress in the corner of an empty room that we had a version of it that's better. This is that better version. You got Klaus Schwab there on the right. You got like True Love in the Pornhub font. You've got a pod number 2030. That's not a coincidence. You got the World Economic Forum there in a couple different ways. Support the current thing. Vapes, pills, pen caps for some reason, fiat currency with Amazon gift cards, Burger King, but they've put bugs in the burgers, a mask, canned oxygen with your carbon usage being calculated in the side of your pod. This reminds me of a book. Agenda 2030 by... I think it was by Glenn Beck or written by somebody else and Glenn Beck put his name on it. Anyway, it's not the best book ever, but like it's not a terrible book and it fits in the vibe of Dystopia 100%. Trying to explain to my parents very gently that basically nobody under 40 right now expects good things to ever happen again. This is a very good meme. I've gone looking for this several times because it's 100% right. People 40 and up, especially people like 70 and up, it feels like they don't get how bad things are. And yeah, the whole point of my having so many memes is so I can go back and find them and just use them as reactions or just like not talk so much, believe it or not. I say after I've been talking for a half hour. But this is kind of the. This meme is about how to cope in the dystopias that we're currently in. I like the vibe. You gotta have hope. The hopelessness is not the way. Society is too scary. Hanging on to that one. Central bank digital currencies. Decentralized digital currencies are cool. Central bank digital currencies, and especially if they come at in exchange for getting rid of cash, extremely dystopic. Don't let them get rid of cash. Cash is freedom. Not my fault. Yeah, this. Yeah, we'll keep it. You will own a farm and you will be happy. This fits into the vibe of don't let them take your hope. Find like-minded people, develop your skills, start making things that you need for yourself, and just not everyone can break away from the system. Not everyone wants to go totally off-grid or live in the woods or anything like that, but it's just little things. Do what you can, develop the skills that you can, and get to know your neighbors. Try and work with your neighbors. Community is the way that we survive all of this. When your life's becoming an Orwellian nightmare, but you refuse to live in fear. For thousands of years, people have known how to grow food, sew clothing, treat sicknesses. I gotta put a patch in these pants that I'm wearing right now. With food and herbs, build shelters, and survive. It only took 2 generations to all but erase those skills from humanity and make us completely dependent on and at the mercy of the system. This is an unfortunate reality, but not an irreversible one. Update not successful. Is this the Peloton machine? No, this is a Ford. This is a car. Unfortunately, a recent software update was not successful. Your vehicle cannot be driven. Please call customer support. We sincerely apologize and will work for this to resolve this situation as quickly as possible. And instructions for the tow truck operator. I want to send this to my friend who's a tow truck operator, but this is scary. If your car is like this, or like, just don't buy anything that's like this. A car, an exercise machine, like a computer, anything. Just if it has the potential to be shut down because you don't pay a monthly subscription, just run the opposite way. Case of cyber attack. In the event that communications go out, we'll all meet at our local libraries every Saturday at 9 a.m. in every town, every city, and in every state. This I'll hang on to it. I don't know how practical it is, but is this dystopia? I just watched the movie Elysium last night, and it kind of gives me Elysium vibes, but I gotta wonder, is this dystopia? That is one hell of a midriff. It's crop top season, everybody. You mustn't let the dystopian nightmare bullshit dim your fucking sparkle. I've been saying that a few times throughout this video. The good reset. Locally produced chemical-free food. Okay with risk. I don't like how necessarily heteronormative it is, but at the same time, I don't like how so many people in the activist space feel it's absolutely necessary to push so hard and so far against anything that might look like heteronormativity either, so whatever, we'll keep it. This is from... I'll check real quick when I save this, but this is not a great meme, but It's also scary that this seems to have been a real Daily Mail thing. I saved this like 3 months ago. Uh, yeah, we'll keep it. This one is probably the most recent one that I saved. I see the memes you dream about. 90-day ban for you. I'm I'm kind of thinking I should put a social media. You know what? I am making that right now. Social media memes. Sometimes I try and like cleverly slip the word meme right in, but nah, not this time. Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear gilet jaune, meaning yellow vests. That is a really, really. Is it just me or does that look like Photoshop? I I want to say that's Photoshop. Either way, it's also really dated. We can get rid of that, but like I've always wanted to see what would happen in a world where yellow vests and black blocks cooperated. List of largest pharmaceutical settlements. This is just kind of information from Wikipedia. You can look at it if you want to. You don't have to, but I'll hang on to it for reference, I guess. Why not? You can't see it because the way I've got it crocked, but it has what year each of them happened with AstraZeneca. You can kind of see the end there. AstraZeneca was recently taken off the market in Canada. Anyway, moving on. Zuckerberg responds to global outrage and national scandal by claiming Facebook's the real victim here and modestly proposing Congress consider legally restricting teen use of the internet, identifying verification mandates, and limiting teen privacy. On brand, really. And then it has a quote that Edward Snowden is referencing. Since 2004, Facebook has never cared about the law or social equities. Don't fall for it. Edward Snowden, guys. Well, everybody really should have taken him more seriously, and I hope he's doing okay wherever he happens to be right now. Same with Julian Assange. He's the one that seems to be at more risk. His last I heard, his health was suffering. Anyway, moving on. This can be moved to a different folder, but we'll keep it. This is in reference to the Yellow Vest protests back in 2018. Ah, I guess it does feel like that long ago. Does France really have a place called Dijon? I guess that would make sense. I hope they make mustard there. Anyway, nah, I guess we keep it. I might move it to my history memes folder. I don't know. Another one of those posters that was edited, maybe not even edited, to have Omicron in it. Either way, not really worth keeping, especially with how few of these I've been deleting. This one feels very accurate. People in the 60s, I better not say that or the government will wiretap my house, and then people today. Hey Siri, Alexa, wiretap, whatever. Do you have a recipe for pancakes? What if we rage on behalf of the machine? The third rage against the machine meme we've seen so far, because it really does feel like Rage Against the Machine did 180 during all the lockdowns and everything. And that's sad, but you know, some of us are still out here raging, I guess. That one we can move. This one can probably go into my globalist government folder with all the there's like a half dozen UN memes in that one. The United Nations has secretly declared war on the people of the world since 1945. They'd done this under the guise of humanitarian aid. Welcome to World War III. We are the army for the New World Order. I don't want to be part of that army, but yeah, That could be a whole separate political video. Is this the end? This is the end of my meme folder. I will stitch these clips together because I did kind of cut it in the middle there when I checked on whether Parler is still a thing or not. But anyway, if you're all still watching, thanks for watching. I plan to make this a series, like I said. The next one should be shorter, and it will be my environmental meme folder. So if you got any interest in that, stay tuned for it. And yeah, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, and you'll hear from me next time I upload. Peace.